Welcome back to the Big Money series. We're on the second part of this series. So hopefully you're following along all 5 of these videos. They do build off of each other, so I would recommend to go in order. If you're a rule breaker and you don't want to go in order, that is totally cool. It's all good, but some things may not make sense if you don't go in order. So you decide what you want to do, but nonetheless, I'm excited that you're here and you're tuning in. There aren't any accidents. You're meant to hear this message. So we've already talked about big energy for big money goals. And now this is very, very important. There is no fluff here. Every tip that I'm giving you is so important. And when you can master all 5 of these, you can literally make any amount of money that you desire. Like any amount of money. It is just a matter of time, right? And discipline and focus. But like once you have all 5 of these, like hallelujah, like you can do anything. And you get to believe that more and more and more. So number 2 in the Big Money series is having big, high income skills. Okay, let me break this down for you. Before you say, Nellie, I do not have big, high income skills, I call BS. I call BS because every single person has high income skills that people would literally love to spend money with you. If there are ways that you can help somebody save time, save money, make money, add joy to their life, add convenience to their life, bless their life, create experiences, right? A little bit of everything. Nothing is off the table. There's 3 main categories that are the hottest online. They are relationships, health, and wealth, okay? Those are the 3 main industries: relationships, health, and wealth. Now, the 4th I always like to say is entertainment, because that gets to be like a fun, like little sidebar. And so you get to decide which category, which industry do you want to tap into. All of them are thriving, and there's room for everyone that wants to make money in all of the industries because there's only one you. And you have a set of skills that you have and that you're continuing to develop that other people don't, right? Like, I'm not a chef. I'm not a traditional like teacher where like teaching young children. I'm not a pediatrician, right? Like, there's so many industries that I am not an expert in, and I do and would be willing to pay other people to learn from, to buy stuff from them, depending on what it is. And so you get to look yourself in the mirror and you've got to own this. If you're wanting to make big money, you've got to stop downplaying your skills. And you get to start owning that, like, oh my gosh, I'm so good at this, and this, and this. I guarantee you're taking things that you're really good for granted, and you're leaving so much money on the table. And so one of the best things that you can do is really get a clear list in place of what are the things that you could do with your eyes closed. Like for me, I could stand in front of a crowd and get them so hyped up. I could talk on certain topics. I could go into a store and put outfits together either on a budget or like splurge. I could plan an event with my eyes closed. There's so many things that I can do and desire to do that some people are like, oh my gosh, there's no way I could get in front of a room full of people, or I could never like pick out an outfit. Like, nothing is too basic. Nothing is too abstract. Like, whatever is in your high income toolbox, we want to leverage it in some way, shape, or form. Now, we may not leverage everything at the exact same time, but you having this high income skill inventory list is so huge because there may be ways that we can bundle things together. There may be ways that we can incorporate things into your marketing plan. There's so much that we can leverage in very unique ways that bridge connection to people, pull them in, and therefore, once you're ready, sell them a product, a program, or a service. And so this is where like a coach, a consultant, a mentor can come into play, because once you've got the list, then it's like, okay, what do I do with the list? So we're not going to get into that today, but you just taking the time to acknowledge, like, what are you actually good at? If you're already selling products, programs, and services, I would really think about like which product, program, service is like your superstar. Imagine doubling down on 1 to 3 products. And products, I mean products, programs, services, if I don't always say that, depending on like what industry you're in and what makes sense to you. But imagine doubling down on 1 to 3 things in the next 365 days and like really going deep, like really understanding the marketing, the conversions, the deliverability, like making it such an amazing, seamless process from the marketing to the deliverability to the results, and then like rinse and repeat. Like, and I would do it like one thing at a time. This takes a lot of discipline. And why I say 1 to 3 products is there can be strategies with other products to bring people in, and you're never limited to those. You can sprinkle in other things, but like I'm talking like something that is getting a lot of your attention. And when it can be something that's already converting, already working, imagine you 10xing that. Like, what could that do for your business? More importantly, what could that do for your life? Like, so much of big money goals comes down to big focus. Focus on what is already working, or what you really feel like in your heart of hearts would work so well. You can have a 6-figure business with a handful of clients. I've done it. It's huge. You don't need to sell a $10 product thousands of times. That can honestly feel defeating. And so when you're a one-woman show, or you've got just like 1 to 2 people on your team, really higher ticket is going to be your fast pass. And high ticket can be anything, in my opinion, over $500. Because $500 at a time, like in a transaction, can add up so incredibly fast. Most people in the world, even them making an extra $500 a month to a couple $1,000s a month extra, what would that do for your family? Right? Like, we don't, like, when I say big money, it doesn't have to be millions. Like, what would an extra $500 to $2,000 a month do for your family? Do for your energy? Do for your mindset? Like, would it give you some extra cushion? Could you pay off some debt? Like, you've got to like step up and be honest about yourself of like, if you at all know about this online space, which if you're watching this video, now you do, or you already did, and you are frustrated where you're at with your money, it is okay to be frustrated, but we get to be actively doing something about it. And I really do want you to equally energetically work through that frustration. I don't want you to make yourself wrong, and I don't want to make yourself wrong for having those frustrations, but we get to do something about it. And when you are actively doing something about anything, you feel so much better about the situation. When we're not, that's when it feels very blah, very frustrating, very yucky. When we're like sitting in the problem versus being actively moving into solutions mode, it's a whole different vibe. So if you're sitting in the problem, you're on the blah ladder, is what I like to call it. If you are actively in solutions mode, you are on the wealthy ladder, and you are climbing that wealthy ladder. And every wealthy action is going to keep adding up in your favor, okay? So we need that high income list and turning that into products that you can ultimately sell. And if you're already selling them, then renewals, obviously upgrades, the whole 9 yards. This does not have to be hard. It does not have to be complicated, but we do get to focus. We want to make this as easy as possible, but easy doesn't mean that we don't put in effort. Easy just means we want to make this as like easy as possible, path of least resistance, because then when it's the path of least resistance, you are going to move so much faster, you're going to keep going, right? And therefore you're going to get your result versus it being very hard and complicated and you're like, this is too much, I'm out and goodbye, right? I want you to get to your big money goal so much, and I need you to feel that, right? Like I need you to want to get to your big money goal. And so big energy and big high income skills will absolutely help you. And I'll see you back in video number 3. And shout out to our episode sponsor today, which is Rebecca with Authors Allies. If you're wanting to make money with your words, she is your girl. She can help you in her membership or one-on-one, but like having a book can be insanely powerful. I actually just had somebody read my book from years ago, and now she's like, oh my gosh, I love this. Now I'm listening to your podcast. Like, tell me about Wealthy Year, my mastermind. And so this is the power of leveraging an asset like a book. So whether you have your book written or not, if you're even at all interested in that space, Rebecca is your girl. She has decades of experience in print and books and magazines and all the things, and she can be a great resource for you. So check her out, tell her that we sent you, and I'll see you back in video number 3 of Big Money. Holla!